Let me go check it out. Well now, let's see what we can see here. Greetings, traveler. I know. I understand that shocked look on your face. You hadn't even come up to ring the doorbell and I'm opening the door. How did I know you were here? Well, let's just say it's a trade secret. Yes, you look a little chilly. The sun is out today, but that wind cuts right through your clothing and chills you straight to the bones. Back in the day, we used to call that the hawk. So, please come in and warm yourself by the fire. So, traveler, I'm glad you came by to see me today. Visitors are definitely always welcome. So, there we go. So I know that there are many people who are still wondering why I am doing this. And I can only say that the level of spiritual fulfillment and mental clarity I have received from being a man going his own way is priceless. Although I'll admit there is one circumstance that might tempt me into voluntarily going back to the plantation. But believe me, that is a subject best discussed at another time. You know, today's culture is consumed with conformity. I mean, you look at media, you know, they're all being handed the same script now, which is why you flip the channels and the message sounds the same. That's because it is the same. You have anyone showing any degree of individuality or of wanting to go against the mainstream, he's ostracized. He's doxxed. There are actually people that have done drive-bys at someone's house because the person said something in a political discussion that they did not like. But it's not going to stop me from going my own way, and it should not stop you either. So as I mentioned in my previous video, I need to pay it forward. So this is another Sifu discussion. Yes, the raving exile is locked away in the back. Sifu is out front today. So you're safe for now. I have always been a person that has been a learner. You know, I have always had a very active brain, and before I knew about alternative techniques to increase spirituality, I was just kind of stuck with the TradCon rules, because that's what I grew up with. So I read extensively. When there was nothing else around, I'd read the dictionary. And having adopted the attitude that you can always learn something, I'm always willing to absorb information. But now, here I am, you know, I've stepped into this persona and I've made it my own. And now I'm a full-time teacher. But, you know, besides trying to impart information to people, I have other questions too. You know, things like, how does one teach? You know, do you do it through empathy? Or do you do it through a hands-on deal? Or do you do it in a rational, logical fashion, setting out bullet points? Or sometimes you just open the door of the airplane and grab the guy by the scruff of his neck and hold him outside the door. That's a lesson that gets your attention real quick. And so, I was thinking, you know, everyone has the capacity to learn, but are you living a two-valued existence? I mean, I'll admit I do it a lot. The way my personality has turned out, I'm pretty much an all-or-nothing guy, as I've said before, which is why I know it isn't for everyone, but I am thriving in monk mode. And that reminds me, you know, there's a friend of mine, Mr. Elite, who started his own YouTube channel. And in fact, he was the one who first gave me that initial red pill. For that, I am eternally grateful. So, he's barely been doing it for a week, and he has 5 times the subscribers that I do. Now, a blue pill man like the, you know, what the, oh God, what's that? You know, suddenly you're channeling Yosemite Sam. But it doesn't bother me like it might have before. And in fact, when the emotion comes up, and it did, it's like, man, you know, shouldn't you be envious of him? He's doing so much better than you. It's like, so what? His style and his subject matter is resonating with a large group of people, which is why he's becoming popular. I already know that the path of solitude and reflection is not for everyone. So, the few people that I have that are actually subscribing to me, I am eternally grateful, because I'm saying something that they want to hear. I'm trying to, now that I've, done that intense bout of psychological nudity, I'm hoping that the exile rants will be few and far between now. And Sifu will begin dropping knowledge. Because that's what I do. Well, I found out, through my chameleon skills, being forced to blend into a crowd where the fact that I'm not the average guy is really obvious. It wasn't always fun, but I had to as a survival mechanism. And I noticed, there are extremists everywhere. And there are people trying to learn and grow despite the difficulties they have stacked up in front of them in this mortal existence. But the one thing I did notice is that, the true measure of your spirituality is how you respond to situations that call for a response between two absolutes. And this was actually brought up briefly in the 1978 Battlestar Galactica. Apollo said it eloquently. And he said, the true value of a culture is how it responds to situations that fall between the absolutes. And it's true. Knowledge, plain information, you can get that anywhere. But it takes a wealth of information plus a touch of the infinite to help you interpret it so you may gain wisdom. Now, this is not easy. Are you prepared for confusion, disorientation, anxiety? True education can be disconcerting. Now, as an example, I used to be a really churchy Mormon. And I came across something. It was in a writer's guide. And it was talking about, you can't figure out what to write about. And it said, okay, what if it turned out that your most cherished items of spiritual information turned out to be false? And I was so churchy, it didn't really register that way. It's like, but the church is true. I don't have to worry about that. That's blue pill thinking. Not that I'm insulting anyone that is a Mormon. No, not at all. As I said before, you have an approach that works for you, that's fine. But it is, it can be disconcerting and lead to disorientation when you have spiritual experiences that don't fall in the neat category where some authority figure has expected you to look for them. As I said before, I've had spiritual experiences in church. I've also had them away from church when I was not churchy at all. So I know, any organization or even an individual that tells you they've got all the answers, they're a lying motherfucker. They're proving that they don't know shit. Now me, I will readily admit that I don't know the answers. That's why I'm searching. That's why I'm on this path. And if one item in a 20-minute talk gets your attention and it correlates with something you know and you say, yes, damn, that old fool isn't completely suffering from Alzheimer's. He actually said something that makes sense. Well, motherfucker, fuck yeah. Yes. I could die a happy camper. I know, it's like, how can he show this much enthusiasm? But it's true. Ask any teacher. That's what gives you the most joy. It's seeing a kid's face light up when they get it. That's why I'm doing this. If I may revert to TradCon just for a moment, you need to be still and know that God is there. You are being bombarded with information. I believe it said that millennials are the first generation. I mean, I know I've got the years off just a touch, but you know, just for a rough shorthand, millennials and those after were the ones born and growing up in immersive technology. I mean, one of my friends has, I think he's 2 years old now. He has his own iPad. You know, it's a kid's version, but he can watch his own movies. I have trouble running my phone. Now, I have been fortunate in that my approach, you know, kind of like a pilot coming in for a landing on a carrier, my approach to red pill philosophy was set up in advance. Because when I got divorced, the ex took the good TV. This was a little bit after the digital TVs with the built-in decoders were present, and I looked and I could not find another box, so I ended up going without TV. And it surprised me how quickly I managed to adapt. I still had noise, but I have a huge stack of DVDs. So I developed a stack of watch anytime movies. And I remember I used to be on Facebook. I'd come home, get on Facebook, the next thing I know, 6 hours have passed. I've done a lot of arguing about political stuff, and I doubt if I budged anyone's opinion. So I don't do that anymore. I certainly show up on Facebook now, but now I show up to drop wisdom and truth bombs. And then I leave. I can actually turn off Facebook and come back later, check, see who's saying what, see if I've got to, drop a bit of wisdom to help somebody, and then go away. It's like today. I've checked it twice, and I won't check it for another hour or two. Just to peek to see how people are doing. I think it was George Orwell that said, the end of the world will come and people will be too busy staring at their screens to notice. In fact, I think when the end of the world comes, people are going to be doing selfies. Like the man said in scripture, when Jesus comes back, it's going to be so obvious, nobody will be able to mistake it. And I can imagine, there's Jesus in the clouds coming down to earth, And some fool will post a selfie of himself. He's like, wow, nice lightning display. And there's Jesus in the back of his picture, and he doesn't even notice. Go, brethren. You know, that so that you can see the image. It is not a bullshit image. I mean, you don't have to go that far to kill your TV. But remove the antenna. Yes, I mean, it is better for your psyche if you play games or a DVD or music or show pictures, you know, from your laptop, than to deal with network programs. All it is blue pill thinking designed to trap you in consumerist bullshit. And you don't need it. Now, I have plenty more to say on this subject, but I promised myself that I would keep my videos at a decent length. Plus, I see you're getting fidgety. Well, that happens when you're exposed to truth. Sometimes the truth is hard to handle, so do not feel guilty. I'm a truth bomb dropping son of a bitch, because that's what I do. Believe me, this is not an easy path to take, but the rewards are obvious and substantial. I thank you so much for coming by to visit me. Remember that you are always welcome. And as you proceed on your journey, I want you to remember two things. First, be happy every day that you wake up. And remember, some of the best days of your life haven't happened yet.